My name is Jonathan Villaman, and I am one of the 2 Associate Directors at Large for Florida. And today we're going to go talk about Friday Facts, as well as some other related topics as it pertains to AIA Florida and AIA in general. As a reminder, some of the information that I'm presenting here is from a personal point of view, my own opinions, and it may not completely line up with AIA Florida's stance on some of these topics, as well as any other entity that may appear within this video. I will make the effort to make it clear when it is my personal opinion that I'm expressing versus the general or versus the official stance of AIA or any other entity. In today's topics, we're going to cover AIA Blueprint for Better. They provided us with 7 steps to adopting better building material. They also have an article about how to help clients source better building materials and some guidelines for selecting better building materials. So there's 3 topics there. If you're interested, timestamp's going to be down below. Additionally, AIA National presented us with 6 reasons why we should attend the virtual conference this year. And also, they announced the AIA Architecture Awards. So 2 topics there from AIA National. And finally, we have the typical Friday Facts, where we have some legislative issues and some other updates. If there is a particular topic you prefer to jump into, please follow the timestamps provided down below, as well as some useful links down into the description. So let's just get to it. On AIA's Blueprint for Better, the future of green construction materials. Building materials and what's in them have been making headlines, and for a good reason. As the American Institute of Architects raises the bar in response to climate change, architects and design professionals are partnering with clients, contractors, and manufacturers to source materials that meet new environmental goals, part of the larger effort to improve resiliency for the future. AIA's Blueprint for Better has come up with 7 steps to adopting better building materials, which are: establish the goal and scope, set the priority within budget, develop measurable targets, define methods and metrics, outline roles and responsibilities, ongoing review and documentation during the design phase. Tracking gives everyone the ability to see the progress towards the project's targets and also serves as a useful tool to ensure goals will be met. And finally, the 7th step is to develop a material manual. As you can see, when you follow the link, you'll be able to read a little bit more into those 7 steps. And so another aspect is helping clients source better building materials. And so, which is another way that architects can help reduce the embodied carbon, is to source materials that have been verified with environmental product declarations, or EPDs, which are similar to nutrition labels. EPDs are documents that communicate the environmental impact of products over its entire life cycle, conveying the carbon footprint of materials at a glance. Today, architects can easily check the EPDs of products by using the EC3 Embodied Carbon in Construction Calculator, or EC3, created by the Carbon Leadership Forum. The EC3 is a free open access application that helps architects and contractors source sustainable materials in categories like concrete, insulation, gypsum board, and carpet. Within this, there are 5 takeaways for the AIA's material pledge and some guidelines for selecting better material. By supporting the human health, the social and equity health, ecosystem health, climate health, and circular economy. The description within this web page you'll be able to follow within the link will give a little bit more insight into how those things play out. And of course, we always encourage everyone to advocate for your local legislation. And here we have Orlando's Foundation for Architecture. This is the April 27th email where they sent out to their members. And this is something I would just like to share because this is something that for some reason I signed up to their newsletter, and I'd like to share it with those of you who are part of the Orlando chapter and anyone else who might be interested in knowing what's happening in Orlando. In this issue they have a featured architect, which is Clyde A. Brady III, a FAIA. They also mentioned the new scholarship deadline, the OFA's presenting Orlando Ally Coffee Time, BAM Orlando's workshops, which was the Girls and Boys Club at Eatonville, walking tour updates. They also introduced committees as well as an architectural guidebook. And finally, they welcomed new members. So there's the scholarship deadline, the Allied Advantage during coffee time. Once again, BAM's Orlando Workshop, site buildings for Girls and Boys Club at Eatonville. And if you'd like to know more, the link is going to be down below. Plenty of links on this link as well for you to follow if you'd like to learn more about their topics. And so we'll move on to the next topic. And now, AIA's National 6 Reason to Attend. AIA National has sent out an email to its membership reminding us of 6 reasons of why we should attend, starting with number 6. All 4 days are available in digital format and on demand for up to 30 days after the live presentation. So you can wear whatever you like, you can sit wherever you like, and learn about new products, which is reason number 5, while also earning all of your HSWs and AIA's learning units, which is reason number 4. And for those of you taking advantage of the free lectures, webinars provided by Florida AIA, you'll be way ahead of the curve when you need to turn in your hours. So take advantage of the free resources, and at the end of the year you'll be stress-free, or at least less stress, less to worry about. And the last 3 reasons are essentially come in the same packaging of seminars, keynotes, and community engagement, where our industry comes together. It's a central meeting point where we celebrate architecture and design, learn from the best in the industry and beyond, and make real connections. And by this point, I believe most of us are going to be fairly well versed into how to communicate virtually. Hopefully we're not too tired of it, but here we are. And now, on to the 2021 AIA Awards for Architecture. The 2021 Architecture Program celebrates the best contemporary architecture regardless of budget, size, style, or type. These stunning projects show the world the range of outstanding work architects create and highlights the many ways in which buildings and spaces can improve our lives. So we start with the Fast School and Teachers Residence by Toshiko Mori Architects, located in Fas, Senegal. This project is inspired by the rural American one-room schoolhouse where Joseph Albers once taught. This new school in a remote region of Senegal is the first there to offer secular education in tandem with Quranic teaching. The school serves about 300 students ranging in age from 5 to 10 in a co-educational environment that splits easily into the cultural fabric of the surrounding communities. The next project is the Lamplighter School Innovation Lab, done by Marlon Blackwell Architects, located in Dallas, Texas. The Innovations Lab is the conceptual and physical center of a master plan initiated in 2014, which presents a new distinct identity on the Village Light campus in Dallas. O'Neill Ford originally designed the campus in the late 1960s, working closely with administrators to support their learning movement with open learning spaces and a deep connection to nature. The new architecture bolsters the school's innovative pedagogy and its focus on exploration and discovery while complementing other additions made in the 1980s and 1990s. The Longhaven Artist residency. Architect Sanders Pace Architecture, located in Knoxville, Tennessee. In the heart of Knoxville's Battlefield Loop, a historic 600-acre woodland that overlooks the Tennessee River, this project has rehabilitated 6 log cabins dated to the 1930s. The cabins are now better suited as residences for visiting artists, and the campus is supported by a new gateway building and 2 purpose-built studio spaces for visual and performing arts. This project is also the first critical step of a plan to protect the region's most important but threatened historical, cultural, and natural assets. Martin's Lane Winery. Architect is Olson Kundig. Location Kelowna, British Columbia. A direct response to both program and site, this winery on the shores of British Columbia's Okanagan Lake leverages its relationship to the land for 2 distinct but complementary functions. The third in a series of projects for the client, the winery represents the client's decades-long commitment to the Okanagan Valley and its importance on the world's vinicultural map. So first word there for me. As we move on to the Northeastern University Interdisciplinary Science and Engineering Complex. The architect is Payette, located in Boston, Massachusetts. Flow and movement are defining features of this new academic precinct straddling Boston's Roxbury and Fenway neighborhoods. This cutting-edge hub for the sciences has helped position Northeastern University as a premier destination for research, but it also serves as a vital social space for students. Built on a brownfield, this new academic building, referred to as ISEC, and its accompanying pedestrian bridge, is the first major project informed by the university's institutional master plan. We now go to Polygon Gallery by Patcow Architects, located in North Vancouver, British Columbia. This project is the rebirth of an independent photography and media institution that has served North Vancouver's creative community for nearly 40 years. Built on a former brownfield, it heralds the renewal of a city's urban waterfront where infrastructure is reimagined and culture emerges from an industrial history. Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community Justice Center. The architect's Gould Evans. It's located in Scottsdale, Arizona. This tribal community use facility in the heart of an ancestral home responds to an increased demand for space dedicated to the judicial process. Its accomplishment involved a non-tribal design team working with the Pima and Maricopa people to establish cross-cultural relationships and develop a deeper understanding of history, place, and justice in an evolving community. Sound Transit University of Washington Station. Architect L&M Architects, located in Seattle, Washington. At one of the busiest intersections of transportation in Seattle, the Sound Transit University of Washington Station creates a new unified urban space that entangles a morass of fragmented system. As the city aims to cut greenhouse emissions by 62% by 2030 and works towards a more ambitious carbon neutral goal, the station makes environmentally friendly travel easy and accessible for all users. The TWA Hotel. Architect Bayer Blinder Bell, located in New York, New York. The TWA Hotel imbues Eero Saarinen's TWA Flight Center at New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport, one of the grandest examples of mid-century modern architecture with new life. While its expressive form has long evoked the act of flying, its renovation and addition of more than 250,000 square feet allow it to serve as its own destination in the heart of one of the world's busiest airports. And finally, we close out with Walker Art Center expansion by HGA, located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. These expansions for Minneapolis Walker Art Center, which is one of the most important venues for contemporary art in the country, unifies a previously disjointed site. The expansion of the Walker campus, which features two iconic buildings designed by Edward Larab Barnes in 1971 and Herzog de Meuron in 2005, also provides a bold new identity for the institution's future. And those were the awards recognized for architecture for the 2021 AIA Awards. And on to the legislative session. Today marks the last day of sessions, with legislators expected to work late into the night, today being Friday. So that depends on when you're listening to this. And the big win this year is the passage of limitation of liability for architects and other specialists offering their services voluntarily in the wake of a declared emergency. All it needs is the governor's signature, then it becomes law July 1st. The budget was also settled, and it preserves funding for the Board of Architecture and Interior Designers' privatized prosecutorial services at the same amount as in previous years. In other news, SB 514 and HB 315, which is the resiliency, rolled into a larger legislative package on flooding and sea level rise, and those bills, which include bills on documentary stamp tax distribution, the Resilient Florida Trust Fund, and more, passed to the governor for signature. SB 344 and HB 471, Legislative Review of Occupational Regulations. This bill would have sunset all occupational licenses and brought each one back for legislative review. It is dead now. From what I recall, and again, this is my personal input, from what I recall, this would have nullified all licenses, all professional licenses. So if you're an architect or an engineer of any sort, your license would be void, and then the process would have to start all over again. HB 1131. Well, now we're going back to legislative day. Legislative update. HB 1131, the University Construction Management. This bill, which would have allowed universities to consider price in choosing certain construction or program management entities, faded away as the session waned, and it is dead for now. Lawmakers will return to Tallahassee on May 1st. The Spring Florida Caribbean Architect, it's out now. You should have received it in the mail. I personally already received it. So I'll be going through it, talking about some of the topics in the next few weeks. So if you don't get the chance to sit down and read through it, just wait for each week where I'll be covering at least one topic within that magazine. Find your next great hire or perfect job. AIA Florida offers job listings and resume review services to everyone, not just member. So go ahead and check it out what's new and see some of the postings. As a note, classified ads must be related to the architecture profession. All classified ads will be posted for 2 weeks, and job listings are a flat fee for $65 for members and $130 for non-members. If you are a member of AIA Florida, you can post your resume in our resume pool for free. Simply email a PDF version of your resume with your AIA membership number to George Henning. Resume postings will be active for 60 days. So please let them know if you would like to have your resume renewed after 60 days. JLI students meet in person. So the Jacob Leadership Institute met in person for its 4th training session on April 26. The Broward County Main Library hosted the training, providing ample meeting space for social distance and safe learning environment. The students were joined virtually by AIA Nationals President Peter Exley, which is FAIA, who delivered a compelling presentation about his path to leadership. Ignacio Reyes also joined them, and shared his expertise on the value of having good presentation skills, especially when competing on an upcoming project. As a reminder, Ignacio Reyes is our AIA Florida's president. As you would have guessed by now, the students were quite happy to meet in person and are looking forward to the next training scheduled for May the 28th. As I'm sure most of us are looking forward to finally meeting in person more frequently without much of the worry due to COVID. This week we had another online webinar. It was about PVC roofing and its materials, and it was once again, as I suggest for those of you who need the hours, which is most of us, go ahead and sign up, take a listen while you're having lunch, and you'll be earning your required hours. Finally, the few reminders that we have here. Convention is back. As we come to a close, we have some general reminders. If you are taking the ARE on site, please wear a mask. Convention registration is still open, and we continue to look for content for AIA Florida Caribbean Architect magazine. So if you have that, please send it to Beth Colvin at the email address provided in the description. To close out, we have the components calendar. If you follow the link below, you'll be taken to the webpage. And as a reminder, please send George the information of your upcoming events so we may share with the entire state. Well, thank you for your time. I hope you found this video helpful. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.